All right, everyone, get ready for a deep dive. We're tackling something today that sounds like, well, it's made up, but I promise you, this is real science, and it's pretty awesome. We're talking about metallic wood. Yeah, you heard that right, metallic wood.
Exactly. It's a metal, but it's engineered to be porous, kind of like, real wood.
I know. You're probably thinking, wait a minute, metal's supposed to be solid, right?
Yeah, usually.
But that's what's so cool about this. We've been looking at a ton of research on this, and it looks like we could actually make metal that's strong and lightweight, just like, well, trees.
The secret sauce, nanoscale lattices. Basically, scientists are building these teeny tiny structures. I'm talking billions of a meter here.
Billionths of the meter. Wow, that's like unbelievably small. So these lattices, are they like building blocks or something? How does that even work?
You got it. They're like the metal version of a tree's cellular structure. Arrange them in the right way, and boom, you get this network that's super strong, but also full of these tiny little holes.
So it's strong because of the lattice, but light because of the holes. It's pretty ingenious. But why go through all this trouble to make a holy metal? What's the big advantage?
It's all about that amazing combo of strength and lightness. We're talking about a material that could be, get this, even stronger than some types of steel, but way lighter. That's a total game changer for all sorts of industries.
Okay, I see where you're going with this, but give me some specifics. Where would you actually use this super strong, super light metal?
Well, aerospace is a big one. Imagine airplane parts made from this stuff. Planes could be way lighter, use less fuel, fly farther, carry more. The possibilities are endless.
That makes sense. Every little bit counts when you're trying to get a giant hunk of metal off the ground. And I bet the folks building spacecraft are pretty excited about this too, right?
Oh, absolutely. Less weight means you can bring more scientific equipment, more supplies, even more people if you're talking about longer missions in space. It's like upgrading from a minivan to a spaceship.
Okay, so aerospace is a definite winner. But what about other applications? Where else could this metallic wood make a splash?
Well, the construction industry is another area that could really benefit. Think about it. Buildings made with metallic wood. They could be lighter, stronger, and maybe even cheaper to build.
So we're talking skyscrapers that can handle earthquakes better, bridges that last longer, maybe even houses that are easier to put together.
Exactly. And because it's so light, moving these materials around and putting them together would be a breeze. It'd be like building with, well, high-tech Legos.
That's a great analogy. But with all these amazing qualities, why isn't metallic wood everywhere already? What's holding it back from, world domination?
That's a good question. Honestly, even though it has huge potential, this is still a pretty new technology.
So what are the sticking points? What's stopping it from taking over the world right now?
Well, one of the biggest challenges is scaling up production. Right now, making a lot of metallic wood is still pretty expensive and complicated.
So it's kind of like those early computers, right? Huge, clunky, and only a few people could use them.
Yeah, that's a good comparison. But just like computers got smaller, cheaper, and easier to use over time, researchers think we can do the same with metallic wood. It's just a matter of time.
So we just need to give it a little time to, well, grow up a bit and for those production costs to come down.
Exactly. As those costs drop, we'll start seeing metallic wood everywhere. It's just a matter of time.
Wow, this has been an incredible journey so far. We've gone from the teeny tiny world of nanoscale lattices to the potential for metallic wood to completely change whole industries.
And we're just getting started. When we come back, we'll explore even more fascinating aspects of this amazing material. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the deep dive, where we're taking a closer look at this amazing material, metallic wood.
And believe it or not, we're just getting started. We've talked about how strong it is, how light it is, and how it could change everything from aerospace to construction. But there's so much more to discover.
Absolutely. We've only just scratched the surface. And today, well, we're going to dive into some areas you might not expect, like energy.
Energy. Okay, now you've got my attention. How does a piece of metal with holes in it fit into the world of energy?
It all goes back to the nanoscale lattices, those tiny building blocks. Remember, they create a huge internal surface area inside the metal.
Right. We talked about that. But I'm not quite seeing the connect into energy yet.
Well, think about batteries for a minute. To make electricity, batteries rely on these things called ions, charged particles, moving between electrodes.
Okay, so the more ions you have moving around, the more power you get from the battery.
Exactly. And here's the cool part. The bigger the surface area of those electrodes, the more space there is for those ions to do their thing.
So the porous structure of metallic wood, all those little holes, give us more surface area, which means more ion activity and more battery power.
You got it. And it's not just about having a more powerful battery. The increased surface area can also make batteries charge faster and last longer.
Hold on. So we could potentially have batteries that charge faster, last longer, and give us more power. That would be a game changer for everything, from electric cars to, like, our phones.
Exactly. And it's not just batteries. The same idea applies to other energy technologies too, like fuel cells and solar panels. Metallic wood's increased surface area can make those things work better too.
It's amazing how something as simple as, well, making holes in metal can lead to so many possibilities. It's like taking a normal house and turning it into a mansion with tons of extra space.
That's a great way to put it. It really shows the power of thinking outside the box when it comes to designing new materials.
So we've got strength, lightness, and now energy on the list of things metallic wood is good at. What other surprises does this stuff have in store for us?
Well, let's shift gears a little and talk about sound. Metallic wood has some pretty interesting abilities when it comes to, well, messing with sound waves.
Wait, are you saying this stuff can make music? Like I'm picturing a metallic wood saxophone or something?
Haha, not quite, although that would be interesting. I'm talking about using metallic wood to make things like soundproofing materials, noise-canceling headphones, or even concert halls with amazing acoustics.
So buildings that are super quiet or headphones that can block out all the city noise. Sign me up.
Exactly. Researchers are figuring out how metallic wood can be used to absorb sound, reflect it, or even guide it in specific ways. The possibilities are pretty mind-blowing.
It's starting to sound like metallic wood can do just about anything. What can't it do?
Well, there are still some hurdles to clear. Remember, we talked about how hard it is to make a lot of metallic wood. That's still an issue, but the potential is definitely there.
Fair enough. So we've covered strength, lightness, energy, and sound. Is there anything else we need to know about metallic wood's superpowers?
There's one more thing I wanted to touch on, and it goes back to what we talked about earlier, biomimicry. Remember, that's where scientists get inspiration from nature.
Right, metallic wood itself is a perfect example of that, taking cues from the structure of wood to create a whole new material.
Exactly. And what's even cooler is that researchers are now taking things a step further. They're figuring out how to make metallic wood even better by adding in other stuff found in nature.
So like mixing metallic wood with other materials to make something even stronger, or maybe give it new abilities.
That's the idea. Imagine metallic wood composites that are reinforced with things like polymers, ceramics, or even other metals. We could create materials that are specifically designed for just about any need.
So it's like taking the best parts of metallic wood and combining them with the best parts of other materials. That opens up a whole world of possibilities.
It really does, and it shows just how powerful this field of research is. We're not just copying nature anymore, we're learning from it, adapting it, and using it to create things that are truly unique.
This is all so exciting. But I have to ask, are there any downsides to metallic wood? Like, are there any risks or concerns we should be thinking about?
That's an important question. With any new technology, it's important to think about both the good and the bad.
So what are the potential downsides? What should we be keeping an eye on?
Well, one concern is the environmental impact. Remember, we talked about how hard it is to make a lot of metallic wood. Well, the methods we use right now can use a lot of energy.
So we need to make sure that the benefits of using metallic wood outweigh the energy it takes to make it.
Exactly. Researchers are doing studies to figure out the overall environmental impact of metallic wood from start to finish.
So it's all about looking at the big picture and making sure we're not creating new problems while we're trying to solve old ones.
Right. Another thing to think about is the possibility of unintended consequences. Like, with any new material, we need to be careful and figure out how metallic wood might affect the environment and living things.
So things like whether it's toxic or how it breaks down over time.
Exactly. Researchers are doing studies to see what happens to metallic wood over time and whether it releases any harmful stuff into the environment.
So it's about making sure metallic wood is safe for both people and the planet.
Absolutely. And that brings up another important point. As metallic wood moves from the lab into the real world, we need to have rules and regulations in place.
So we need clear guidelines for how to make it, use it, and dispose of it safely.
Exactly. We need to learn from our past experiences with new materials and make sure we don't make the same mistakes.
It's all about finding the right balance between encouraging innovation and protecting people and the planet.
Right, and that's where communication and collaboration are key. Scientists, policymakers, industry leaders, and regular people all need to work together to make sure metallic wood is developed and used responsibly.
So it's a team effort. We all have a part to play in ensuring that metallic wood is a good thing for everyone.
Absolutely. And as we learn more about this amazing material, we can work together to unlock its full potential while minimizing any risks.
Wow, this has been quite a journey. We've gone from those incredibly tiny nanoscale lattices to the potential for metallic wood to reshape entire industries, and now we're talking about the potential risks and ethical issues. It's clear that metallic wood is much more than just a scientific curiosity. It's a story that's still being written and one that will have a huge impact on the world.
You're absolutely right. And as we move into the final part of our deep dive, we'll explore what the future might hold for metallic wood and how we can tackle the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. Stay tuned.
And we're back for the final part of our metallic wood deep dive. We've seen how strong and light it is and how it could change everything from energy to, like, sound.
And we talked about the challenges and what we need to be careful about as this new material develops.
So now the big question, where do we go from here? What does the future hold for this amazing stuff?
Well, the research is, it's just exploding. Scientists are making new discoveries all the time about what metallic wood can do. They're finding new ways to use it, and they're making production better and better.
So it feels like we're just at the beginning, right? Like we're seeing the start of something really big.
Exactly. The best is yet to come. And as it gets easier and cheaper to make metallic wood, we'll start seeing it everywhere.
Okay, so give me a glimpse into that future. What kind of world are we talking about if metallic wood becomes, a big deal?
Well, imagine cities with skyscrapers that are lighter and much stronger, able to handle earthquakes and wind better, all thanks to metallic wood frames.
That's an amazing thought, especially in places that get hit by natural disasters a lot.
Right, and think about cars, airplanes, even spaceships, all lighter and using way less fuel because they're made with metallic wood.
Yeah, electric cars that can go farther, airplanes that are better for the environment. I like where this is going.
Exactly. And remember the energy stuff we talked about. Metallic wood could help make batteries, fuel cells, and solar panels so much better. We could power our homes, businesses, everything with cleaner energy.
Wow, that's a future I want to live in. So metallic wood isn't just some niche material. It could become a part of, like, everything.
Exactly. But, and this is important, we have to do this the right way, just like we talked about. We need to make sure it's sustainable, that it's ethical, and that it benefits everybody.
You're right. It's not just about chasing the cool new tech. It's about making sure it's good for the planet and for everyone on it.
That's where everyone needs to work together. Scientists, engineers, the people making decisions, everyone, to make sure metallic wood is used for good.
So it's not just about the material. It's about the choices we make, all of us. That's a lot of responsibility, but it's also pretty exciting.
It is exciting. So as we wrap up this deep dive, we want to encourage all of you listening to, well, stay curious, keep learning about metallic wood.
This is a story that's still being written, and we all have a role to play. Who knows, maybe one of you listening will be the one to come up with the next big thing for metallic wood. Thanks for joining us.